theory, or in actuality, you can take this RBD file and do it as a in virtual reality. You can go and pull it in where this is not actually three-dimensional. So we've got studies going on several things, but one of the main studies we have right now is with communication. Is once someone is scanned and part of the group doesn't see themselves, but part of the group does, and part of the group can sit here and look at themselves, and what do they say? What are the words they use? Most of the time is, that's not me, but I can tell you that's me, right? They go, that's not me, is it? You know, I don't, and most of the time nobody's ever seen themselves like that.
That's true, yeah.
Right? You've never seen yourself from there, right? Wow, I didn't know I looked like that. Of course, I got my clothes on and everything. There's scan protocol in here that you can read up on what you wear once you actually start scanning. But that's basically the 3D point cloud. But then what makes this thing, to me, it's its greatest asset and worst liability. And I'll explain in a little bit why I think it's a worse liability. I can go up here to ASTM Size USA. Y'all know ASTM Size USA. They have a certain MEP, measurement extraction profile is what they do. They extract certain measurements from all this data, and if we're part of the Size USA data, then we add into the database, and it's all floating around all over the place. But all you do is you select your extraction profile, like there's a men's suit, Size USA, TC squared style. Most of the time, there's a body fitness one that it's pretty close to calculating BMI and things like that. But this is Size USA MEP. You just touch extract and it pulls out everything that Size USA wants. That's the only thing that they want. So if you notice my collar, you got to be in something tight, but not restrictive as to change your body form.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you're fitting clothing.
Right.
Unless you're fitting underwear, right? I did some research out in, it's weird, it's kind of a weird thing to say, because I usually work with, most of the time it's females that I'm working with. I worked with one of our professors out there worked with Nike on designing sports bras and support. And we were walking down, we were going to lunch one day, and we were all discussing it, and all three of us, there was two ladies and me, and we're going down going, well, you get this movement, and you got to be able, because she had a motion capture thing that we would scan, and then she could do the motion capture, and we're like, well, maybe we ought not be doing that out in public, That's just, it's like, so, I tell people when they come in, you kind of lose modesty in here. If you're in the fashion business, you lose modesty anyway.
Are those the points that you use to compare when your students are comparing measurements, or is that how you decide really quick